Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, March 28th, 2017 2018? Okay, by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I am aligned with wild yin liberation. And I was looking at today's astro and that's what came through when I was looking at that Venus conjunct Uranus energy. And it makes sense, doesn't it? Venus bringing forth that yin energy, that energy that does align with beauty, harmony, love. Being united with Uranus, the liberator, the revolution, evolution. And what we have is wild yin liberation, wild yin revolution. And it always starts in here. And to be fair, if I think about it, I feel like that's what these scopes have been guiding us through over the last several months, especially starting back in the fall, back during Libra time. There was such that yin emphasis that we have been talking about. And so today, there is this essence of wild yin liberation that is driving us. Now, there's something interesting that's happening in the background with this Venus conjunct Uranus energy. And I'm like, no accidents in the astro. This is very interesting. Palace, which can represent patriarchal energy. Palace, we have at a master level degree. It is at the 29 degree of Taurus. Taurus is an interesting sign. Taurus does represent Venus. It is co-ruled by Venus, but I also believe it's ruled by Earth. So we have Palace at this final degree of Taurus, tuning us into that Venus energy, but at the same time, connecting, helping us shift out of patriarchal energies that have ruled this earth, I would say, since about Atlantis times. So today feels like a very power-packed day for us to break our own personal paradigms where we will palace ourselves, where we will patriarch ourselves, where we shadow king ourselves. That's something else that we can call the patriarchal energy, where we come down on ourselves with the shoulds, with all of these things that we think we should be, do, have, etc., that are outside of ourselves. Today is the day for the wild yin liberation of that. And tomorrow, the work continues. But today does have that really strong energy where Uranus is like, I'm going to lightning strike and dissipate this energy. Now, Venus and Uranus conjunct today at 27 degrees in Aries does bring this emphasis to the I am. Yes, you may be feeling this in your relationships, of course, because Venus does rule the energy of relationships. But chances are, if you are feeling this in relationships, it is some kind of mirror, some kind of place where you are still patriarching yourself. So this is a really great opportunity to see where your worth, where you have maybe shut down your talents, where you maybe criticize your own beauty, where you sacrifice harmony for something that is outside of yourself, and realize those are some of the ways in which you patriarch yourself. Those are some of the ways in which you keep yourself small. And those are the places that you can break through today. This is very strong energy. Now, Uranus can bring surprising energy. You may get some surprises in your relationships. You may be surprised at the strength, the yin strength that rises in and through you with this energy. So just really pay attention, but really notice as well, where am I patriarching myself? Where am I selling myself short? Where am I not fully stepping into my divine power? Where am I not yet aligned with the wild yin energy? So, besides this, which is very strong energy going on, we have the moon today finishing up in Leo and shifting into Virgo. As the moon finishes up in Leo, I love this, the moon is meeting up with Venus and Uranus. So the moon meeting up with Venus and Uranus is just infusing a little heart energy, a little express yourself into the energies building as Venus and Uranus come together. What time do they come together? I don't remember that. 5:47 p.m. So we're definitely going to feel that building today. And let me just mention too, remember with Uranus, sometimes there are triggers. If these triggers come up, Ask yourself, where is this showing me where I patriarch myself? Because this is about your own personal breakthrough. Moon shifting into Virgo at 7:30 a.m. Moon in Virgo, get stuff done, which is really good because I need to get stuff done. The moon in Virgo, listen to your body. What's going on with your body? Part of breaking through patriarchal energy is going to be noticing your body's needs. Many of us run around in this world not listening to the needs of our body and rather, well, this is what I have to do, so I'm going to drink more coffee, or this is what I'm going to have to do, so I'm going to drink wine, or this is what I have to do, so I'm going to eat an enormous amount of sugar, or this is what I have to do, so I'm just going to power through it in order to get it done. What does your body think of that? Your body is probably like, I am exhausted. So please, as part of depatriarchaling yourself, depatriarching, maybe that's better, depatriarching yourself, please listen to your body. What is it that it needs? How can you provide harmony on this level between your consciousness and your body at this time? What is it it needs? That's where big breakthroughs, I believe, are actually going to happen today. The moon, as it continues on, will be connecting with Mars. We have Mars in Capricorn, and it's connecting with Saturn in Capricorn. Now, this is really interesting because the sun is building into a square with Saturn. So the sun right now is kind of in this in-between place, of Mars and Saturn, which is, it's a tense place to be. In between squares with Mars and Saturn. What is it that we need to realize? The sun right now, the sun, your I am, your vitality is still being influenced, whether via resistance to or acquiescence with those old society energies. The act of taking action based on what society wants. Responsibility to society. Remember, your responsibility is to yourself. So that Moon in Virgo meets up with Mars and Saturn and is like, hey, I'm bringing the responsibility of the physical body. I'm bringing that responsibility and entrusting you, Mars, to take action in accordance with that. I'm trusting you, Saturn, to remember the responsibility of your physical self. You may feel that resistance. Your success is when you can listen and honor yourself in and through that. But that tension is building as that sun builds into a square with Saturn. All right, so let's look at the cards. Let's talk about wild yin energy. That is divine receptivity. That is being in the flow with what is. Are you in alignment with what is? Are you flowing with what is? Are you working with what is? Or are you resisting it? That's a really good question to ask. And if you are resisting it, maybe you're resisting it for a reason. Maybe you're resisting it because your body's like, no, no. And you're trying to do this thing and you're not listening to your body. Divine receptivity happens on many levels, including being receptive to your needs. I always love that that's what Deepak Chopra says. Stress is what happens when we're not honoring our own basic needs. Compromise. We're finished with the compromise. We have to stop seeking harmony outside of ourselves. Look at what that's done in this world. It does not look extremely harmonious. That's because we're creating wars inside with ourselves because we're seeking this harmony outside and just stirring up the stuff. Because chances are, if you're seeking harmony outside of yourself, that person is also going to try to seek harmony out of themselves, and it's not really meshing up. It's not really working. Harmony within first. That's how you're going to get beyond the illusions. Oh, la la. She just took her tail and like swished. Cats do inner harmony very well. They're like, I will not kowtow to any of your things. I am going to swish my tail and swish your cards all over the place. Let the cat teach you. Anyways, the divine receptivity, wild yin liberation is going to help you get beyond these illusions into your personal maturity and allow yourself to flower, allow yourself to bloom, allow yourself to grow. This is really beautiful energy. It does require work, and a lot of the work is allowing yourself to be receptive, which isn't always easy because we've been trained otherwise, but this is the time. The Kuan Yin card, the wild Kuan Yin card, is so perfect with this. She tames by laying down the staff and the rope. There is something you want to attain. A situation exists that you would like to change. You have been attempting to bring it about through exertion of your will. Now there is a time and place for such approaches. The strength of a human will should never be underestimated. Yet there is another way. A gentler, more peaceful way which will evoke little resistance within you and will help you attract what you want rather than having to carve it out with your own blood, sweat, and tears. This is the taming power, the magnetic lure of attraction that can tame beyond the capacity of the will. What you want is possible, but the way you may be thinking it has to come about is doing you a disservice. Striving will create friction, where surrender and invitation through love will create affinity with the goal. Do all that you can and then let it go. When you let go of pushing and striving, there is a less resistance created, and the situation at hand can naturally begin to resolve itself. Stay strong and true to yourself and your wishes. Stay true to yourself and your wishes, but trust that they can manifest more quickly when you come from a place of trust in the divine plan. In a reading, if you feel stuck anywhere in your path, know that it is fine and part of life sometimes. Accept what is, even your frustration, and let it be. It will pass, and so shall any obstacle in your way, and all the more gracefully when you offer no resistance to it, and instead simply be like a child, curious, open, observing without claiming to know or direct. In that openness and curiosity, you may see how divine compassion is serving you through the very thing that you want to change. If you are open to it, not only will you gain the lesson and the gift of the apparently undesirable state of affairs, but once that is gleaned, it will no longer need to be as it is. You accept, and with no resistance to push again, change happens. You do not need to force what is meant to be. Do all that is in your power to do, yes, but then trust a little more. Do not allow another to manipulate you. You can have compassion in your heart whilst choosing not to give in to another's demands that you should be offended or accept their criticism or in any way take on their feelings or moods of another. When you no longer allow another to have power over you, when you patriarchal yourself, depatriarch, you no longer need attempt to control them in any way, and you become free. So, wild yin liberation. This is it. So, that being said, you can always go book a reading, GaiaBlooming.com. The better it gets, and there is enough love in the world for you. I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.